A tiger prowled the jungle, its golden coat blending with the lush foliage. It moved with a purpose, pausing now and then to mark its territory. The tiger's presence was a silent assertion of its dominion in the luxuriant forest. When it heard a vehicle up ahead, it halted in its tracks, its sharp eyes fixed on the unfamiliar intruders. Its body tensed, and it remained still, assessing the situation. This must be familiar to all those visiting the national parks. But what are tigers really going through amid all of this? It is important for us humans to think about tigers and other animals, as habitat loss and fragmentation already pose them an existential threat. To add to this, the growing influence of humans in their last remaining habitat subjects them to stress. Such stresses have significant implications for reproduction and survival. Luckily, these were studied by the Laboratory for the Conservation of Endangered Species, LaCONES, at CCMB. This is only one of the examples of the many achievements of this important lab at CCMB. It aims to provide insight on the protection and propagation of endangered wildlife, reveal aspects of animal behavior, and trace the evolutionary history of species. Such research pursued over the years has ultimately helped us in establishing a conservation program to conserve the Indian mouse deer with the Nehru Zoological Park, scientifically managed rehabilitation of rescued animals in pet trade, early detection of wildlife diseases, and detection of invasive species in aquatic ecosystems. The extent of influence CCMB's work has caused on solving wildlife crime cases using DNA-based technologies is vast, and it cannot be fully summed up in this short video. When we think of ecosystems, we don't just mean large animals. Plants and smaller animals are the building blocks of viable ecosystems. CCMB ecologists and evolutionary biologists are working to understand the evolution of huge biodiversity of a place like India and how animal and plant communities are assembled in our ecosystem. They make observations of organisms, collate molecular data on them, and use mathematical models to analyze patterns. Such studies can help us find how global changes such as the climate crisis would impact ecosystems. We also have a thriving biobank for wildlife in the country, and this is one among a collection of such biobanks in the world dedicated to preservation of wild animal genetic resources. In this bank, we cryopreserve and store biological samples from dead and live wildlife that are important for conservation. India is the most populous country in the world and only the 7th largest in terms of area. We have 4 mega biodiversity hotspots, which are home to species-rich ecosystems that are irreplaceable. It is the duty of every Indian citizen to preserve this wealth, and we at CCMB put our best efforts in developing scientific innovations that would promote conservation. Let us hope that our grandchildren will be proud of our efforts to preserve and restore our country's vibrant biological diversity using the modern tools of biology. We need this now more than ever before.